What are etheric worlds and why do you already feel them? You live in a dense reality, a world of objects, shapes, logic, and tasks. Here, everything can be touched, measured, explained. But sometimes, something doesn't fit that model. You walk into a room and feel it. Something's off. You look at a person and instantly know more than they've said. You're walking down the street and suddenly stop, as if the space around you shifted. You call it intuition, or a vibe, or coincidence. But maybe you just brushed up against the etheric world. Etheric worlds aren't somewhere else. They overlap our own. They are subtle layers of perception where information flows without words. Everything is transmitted through sensations, signals, resonance. You feel before you understand. You know before you hear. All that exists moves through multiple layers of density: physical, energetic, emotional, mental, and in between, etheric. It's like a transparent veil through which light filters in. That's where the real causes live. That's where patterns of meaning exist, before they materialize. A different kind of logic lives there. One you can feel but struggle to explain. Modern science has names for it: torsion fields, morphogenetic fields, quantum entanglement, the holographic universe. This isn't fantasy. These are hypotheses, from physicists, biologists, neuroscientists. The world isn't as simple as they told you in school. You're not just a body, you're an antenna, a receiver of the invisible. And you've already been there, every time you sensed that something was off, every time you understood without explanation, every time you felt something calling you, but couldn't say where or why. This is not fiction, not mysticism. It's another layer of reality, one you already know how to enter. You just do it unconsciously. For now. Etheric fields influence your life far more than you think. You believe you make decisions with logic, that your life is built by planning, that reality is a chain of cause and effect. But then, why do you keep meeting the wrong people again and again? Why can't you step into a project, even if everything seems perfect? Why do you walk into a meeting and feel something's off even if everyone's smiling? The answer is in the ether, in what's invisible but tangible, in what vibrates just beyond the reach of words. Etheric fields are informational and energetic structures that connect you to other people, events, and places. They are your reality before it appears. A subtle layer of consciousness where your whole story already lives. Your choices, your fears, your attractions, your potential. Morphogenetic fields, a term coined by biologist Rupert Sheldrake, describe how every living system contains an invisible field that instantly transmits information. Like a flock of birds turning midair in perfect unison, like a child copying their parents' behavior without a single word exchanged, like you sensing, "This isn't mine," or "This is mine," but you have no idea why. And the most fascinating part? Etheric worlds don't just affect you, you affect them too, with every emotion, every thought, every decision. You are constantly tuning your own field. You're either amplifying the noise or clearing the signal. That's why reality repeats. Not because you're cursed, but because you keep walking in circles. Inside your own vibration. The etheric level is like the root of a tree. You can water the leaves all you want, but if the root is poisoned, the tree suffers. And so do you. If there's fear, resentment, or pain within you, the world will reflect exactly that. Because the world is precise. It's etheric. So how do you tell the difference between an etheric signal and an illusion? It's one of the most common questions. How do I know it's real and not just in my head? How do I separate intuition from fear? How can I tell if this feeling is truly mine, or just old trauma? Here's a simple test. An etheric signal is always quiet. It doesn't scream. It doesn't panic. It feels like a calm knowing. No adrenaline, no chaos. You just know. That's it. No explanation needed. But if there's anxiety, urgency, or emotional spikes, that's not ether. That's your mind reacting. replaying fear-based patterns from the past. Intuitive impulses live in the right brain and the limbic system. They're fast, silent reactions. But once logic steps in, once the left brain starts analyzing, you lose the essence. That's why it's so important to notice the first feeling, to learn to trust the body, not just the thoughts. Practice this. Pause before a decision. Before taking action, stop. Close your eyes. Visualize two paths. Then notice, which one makes you feel expanded and which one contracts you? Ether always moves toward expansion, where it feels a little scary, but clean. Where there's lightness, even in uncertainty. You don't have to be psychic. You don't have to hear voices. Ether is sensitivity, and you already have it. You were just taught to ignore it. Now it's time to bring it back. To tune into the quiet voice of reality, the one that doesn't speak in your head, but deeper, in the body, in the field, in the ether. How to tune into your etheric flow. Each of us walks through a unique etheric corridor, an invisible path where everything just clicks. Thoughts match actions. People show up at the perfect time, and you feel, I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. This isn't magic, it's alignment. To find your etheric flow, you don't need to chase opportunities. You need to tune your frequency. It's like a radio. If you're stuck in static, you won't hear the music, even though it's already playing. The problem? Most people live in vibrations of anxiety, guilt, resentment, and the weight of others' expectations. But your etheric path is built on resonance, not tension. Signs you're entering your true reality. You explain less and feel understood. You act from within, and the world adjusts. The internal noise fades. Clarity appears. Events become symbolic, like someone is leaving clues. You shift from a world of logic to one where trust and sensation builds bridges to new outcomes. Scientific studies show that when a person enters a flow state, brain activity changes. Cortisol drops, alpha waves increase, and the creative centers light up. You move into an expanded state of consciousness, where you gain access to etheric information. Rewrite your reality using the ether. You're not stuck. You're not doomed by fate. You're just walking the same track, without knowing there's a way out. Ether is the key, because reality is born in the subtle first. First the sensation, then the thought, then the choice, then the event. You can't change the story unless you change the field. You can keep acting the same and get the same results. But if you want a new line of destiny, you must shift the vibration. That means choosing thoughts, words, people, and actions that already belong to the new frequency. A simple etheric law. You can't stay in the old reality if your vibration already lives in the new one. Reality will change. People will disappear. Situations will dissolve. Old roles will fall away. Even your body may shift. That's why change often feels painful. It's the rupture of an outdated field. Even theoretical physicists now discuss the idea of multiple realities, where every choice creates a new timeline. In quantum terms, you are the observer who collapses probabilities, which means choice isn't just an action. It's a shift in the entire universe you occupy. You don't have to chase your life. You just have to remember. It already exists on a different frequency. And ether is the thin path leading you there, to the real you, alive, clear, complete. You don't have to arrive tomorrow, but you must start walking, because only in that is your true freedom. If you've made it this far, it means you already feel the shift. You're not alone, you're not weird, you're not lost. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing this channel. May your etheric reality become clear. May you find your frequency, and may the whole world align with it. Subscribe if this resonated. Leave a comment. That's your signal to the universe. I'm ready. Sending light. See you in the next video.